Good morning. All right, so this video is for your online learning day, which is Friday, February 12th. And then also we will continue and finish this assignment on Tuesday, February 16th. All right, so you have already done your informational text feature scavenger hunt and your research-based survey tool. So you've got two strategies, two skills, I should say, to be able to kind of figure out what you're looking at when you are doing your research. Now, the goal of this assignment, choosing a topic to research, is, well, of course, to find out what topics you are interested in researching, right? So, now I want to say this. I want you to go into this assignment, this research paper, with kind of a clear mind, an open mind. Um, I don't want you to already have like predetermined what you think you want to research. I want you to explore. I want you to expand your horizons. There's a lot out there that none of you have ever heard of, that I have never heard of, that I think we might be fascinated by or intrigued by or find interesting, that we otherwise maybe wouldn't have heard of if we didn't actually go out there and try to explore for ourselves. So, um, first thing I'd like to kind of go over is I have put together a document called Historical Event Categories. This is the first place that I want you to go. So what is this document? It lists potential ideas for your research paper. The purpose of your research paper is to dive deep on one specific topic that's meaningful to you. And then I include a website that would be a great place to start your research. Now, I want to be clear that for all these events that you're about to go through, um, if there's something or someone, a famous historical figure that's not on this list that you really want to research, um, you can put it on your slides, which you're eventually going to create. All right, so the goal of this document is just to kind of go through it, and I will explain it more in class, but a lot of you are online, so I'm just going to kind of skim through it. So first thing I want to go over is these are broken down into different specific categories. Now, if I listed every major event in the world, this document would be 1,000 pages long, maybe 1,000,000 pages long, quite honestly. But so I just kind of narrowed it down to the ones that I thought were most important, or that not even the most important, but just like that there's a lot of information about on the internet. So just some major American events. I added some this year, of course, like COVID-19 pandemic and the race to create a vaccine. You can do a research paper on that. The slave trade, the end of slavery, slavery revolt, Underground Railroad. I really would love to see some of you choose that. That is a really fascinating tale about Harriet Tubman helping slaves escape from the South to the North. Um, a law that was essentially saying that races were separate but equal in the United States. The Harlem Renaissance, when black culture started to become a big part of this American society. Jackie Robinson and the color barrier in baseball and American sports. Trail of Tears, Jim Crow era, when um, laws were created that said that people of color in the United States were not equal to people who are white. DACA and Dreamers, those are people who were brought to this country illegally at a young age, usually from places like Mexico and Guatemala. Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Act, which finally allowed um, some semblance of equality for black and white Americans. The water crisis in Flint, Alexander Hamilton, President Nixon, the Tea Party, Pearl Harbor, 9/11, Apollo 13, the failed mission to the moon, Hurricane Katrina, the Boston Marathon bombing when you guys were very young, Great Chicago Fire. That's a tough one because we don't really know how it started. There's a lot of theories. Sinking of the ship in the Lake Superior, Edmund Fitzgerald, the hunt for Osama bin Laden, the man responsible for 9/11, space shuttle disasters, the hunt for the Unabomber, the election of Joseph R. Biden as president in 2020, and I even added the insurrection at the Capitol that happened just a month ago. We have some famous civil rights leaders, to be clear. Civil rights is the fight for equality in the United States of America. I've got a bunch of Native American historical events, and you can actually click on these links and read more about them. I broke them up into two different categories of Native Americans: the Northern Plains, which is near us, and then the Southwest natives. I have 7 different Latino and Hispanic American events that are also clickable to learn more about. Asian American historical events that you can click on and learn more about. Major global events from North Korea to the Uyghur Muslims that are in China right now. I also kind of skipped over the Black Lives Matter movement. That is certainly something that I encourage you to research. Supreme Court cases. These are cases that really have had a huge impact on all of you, but maybe you don't know anything about them. Supreme Court is the highest law of the land. These are cases you will all learn about in the future. Major battles, events during war. Genocides, which is a genocide is the mass killing of human beings on like millions of people. Assassinations, murders of some famous figures in world history, and the human triumphs. Great things that humans have done. Okay, so you've got all these options to choose from. There's obviously millions that I did not list. These are just a few. All right. I also, though, if you're like, hey, I want to keep looking, there are 7 more links on here where there's more that you can choose from. If you want to go look through these, please do so. If you get to this link, I will have a video next week of how to access Britannica School. You've got all these 20th century events. This is from 1900 to 1999. All these major events. These are just some major events that have changed the world. These are major historical events of the 20th century. And these are some 25 decade defining events from the last 25 decades, which is the entire United States history. So if you're a history person, look through them all. All right, and so what are you doing with all these events? Well, you are creating 2 different slides. One, you're going to list 5 topics that you would consider researching that you know something about. You're like, hey, I know a little bit about 9/11, so I'm going to put 9/11 there. And then you're over here, you're going to tell me, all right, why did you choose 9/11? Because I want to know more about why people committed the acts they did on 9/11. Maybe that's why. Okay. Then maybe, so you're going to come up with 5, at least 5. You can do 20, I don't care. You can do as many as you want, but at least 5 topics that you know about from this document or anywhere else. And then maybe there's like 5 topics that you don't know much about. Maybe you're like, Mr. Tom's, what is this information about? Maybe it's the Underground Railroad. Maybe you're like, Mr. Tom's, I've kind of heard that name, but I don't know what it is. I want to know more about it. The Underground Railroad. Why did I choose it? I am interested in slavery and how Tubman, and when you refer to your historical figure, sometimes you just need to say their last name. Tubman helped slaves escape. Okay, and that's kind of your goal there. Is you're going to tell me 5 topics that you know about a little bit. And what does know mean? It means like you could probably, like KNOW, that know means like you could probably in a few minutes tell me like, oh, okay, here, or in a few sentences tell me here's what 9/11 is. And what topics you want to know more about would be like, I heard about this Underground Railroad, but I don't really know what happened there. Maybe that's what you include in that box. So, that is the goal of this assignment. Now, to be clear, on Friday, the online learning day, the goal is for you to complete this blue slide. And then on Tuesday in class, you will complete the green slide, which hopefully makes a little sense to you. Because, yeah, this is Friday, this is Tuesday, and of course, Monday will be reading zone. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I always encourage you to come up with ideas that are not mentioned on this doc. I am constantly adding to it. It is a live document that I will add to throughout the next weeks, months, and years. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.